Here he is. I was just doing an intro there. I can start again. It's fine. My first guest is an ultra runner. He runs for Team Solomon. He's a running coach and the race director for the UTS, Ultra Trail Snowdonia. He's completed the Bob Graham Round, the UTMB, the TDS, the CCC, and podium the Highland Fling, Ben Nevis Ultra, and won 2 Lakeland 100s. My guest is Mike Jones. Hello, Mike.
Hello, nice to chat. Thanks for having me on your awesome new podcast thing.
Yes, I don't even know whether it's a podcast because it's video, and the audio quality is probably terrible. So if it's no good for audio, what's it going to be good for? We can only hope. So yeah, I mean, I've just sort of roughly gone around that, but how do you go about winning a Lakeland 100 or competing in the UTMB?
Yeah, so I've always loved the outdoors. I raced mountain bikes from the age of like 8, so competing and being on 2 wheels was always my thing when I was young. I used to love going to races, and parents put up with driving me all over the country at the weekends and sleeping in the back of not even a people carrier, like a little 5-seater family car thing with my dad. And yeah, that's how I kind of grew up, really. That was my thing. Some kids played football, and that's what I did after school. I'd get home and get changed as quickly as I could and get out onto my bike and train. And when I wasn't actually on my bike riding, I was thinking about it and reading about it. And yeah, but everything 2 wheels. And then it was after university when I moved to the Lake District in summer 2012. I'd read Feet in the Clouds, and I'd always known about fell running, and I thought I'll give this a whirl. And it was training for my Bob Graham Round in 2013 when I really fell in love with trail and fell running. And I still ride my bike a lot nowadays, but yeah, for the first time in a long time, past couple of years, I see myself as a runner now.
Yeah.
Getting into running, coming from cycling, is really hard. It's hard on the body. But yeah, it was a few years ago, so 2013, that's nearly 5 years ago now, and I got into running. And from there, got into the more ultra side of racing and competing, and sort of snowball from there, really. So yeah, that's my story in a nutshell.
So this year is the first UTS, Ultra Trail Snowdonia.
Yes.
Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, so it's been a pipe dream of mine for a long time, since I was training for UTMB in 2015 in the Lake District, doing lots of little contrived routes, trying to get as much vertical in as I could on the little Lakeland fells. And I thought, oh man, there's the Lakeland 100, which is considered by many to be the blue ribbon premier event for ultra running in the UK. 105 miles, 6,000 metres climb, and it's pretty gnarly. But my idea was, what is there anything that can go beyond that in terms of not just difficulty, but the whole scale of everything, like UTMB when you're climbing for well over an hour, even descending for over an hour. Why isn't there anything like this in the UK? And it was a couple of years ago where I started training a lot in Snowdonia, when I thought, wow, these hills here are really quite big, a lot bigger than the Lake District. And that was when the first seed was planted to sort of take the bull by the horns and put my own vision of what alpine scale ultra running might be in the UK.
Yeah.
And sort of sitting on the fence for a long time. It was just a little idea in the back of my head. I started plotting some routes in GPS software, and yeah, it was about a year ago when I committed to it and told myself, yeah, just do this, and what's the worst that could happen? You might lose a bit of money, but at least you tried. So that's where I am now.
I know that feeling.
In the race, so yeah, sometimes in life it's worth taking a punt on things, and yeah, what's the worst that could happen? I don't have a mortgage or kids or anything. I don't have a lot to lose, to be honest. So I'll give this a whirl and see where it goes.
Yeah, going back more towards the running side of things. You're under 30, aren't you?
29 now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite young for an ultra runner.
I like to tell myself that, the big 30's looming, and yeah.
Your best years are ahead of you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it takes about 10 years to, that 10,000 hours theory, I think that holds true with running. It's sort of at least 5 to 10 years before you reach your potential. So I think I know myself, I've certainly got a lot of untapped potential. I think I'll keep improving for the next 3 years before I feel like I've plateaued now, I'm not going to get any better. So then I'll be early to mid-30s, and that's when a lot of runners and endurance athletes in general do reach their peak. So yeah, we'll see what happens on the athletic career side of things moving forward.
Were you always sort of planning a career in athletics, or?
No, to be honest. I went to university to study product design. I've always been very creative and quite technically detail orientated as well. And I love that course. I still love product design, and I dip into it now and then in a freelance capacity. It's probably long term what I would go into when I've done my time messing around and running around the Alps. But no, it was my plan. I don't know, when I was at uni I was really focused on my course. If you're going to get into that much debt, you might as well do a good job of your degree, and I did. So it's never been my plan to sort of make a career out of being an athlete, but if the opportunity arises, I certainly wouldn't turn it down.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's quite an untapped sport in the grand scheme of things, isn't it? I suppose. But
yeah, also it's an interesting one. It's not a. I wouldn't say it's in its infancy anymore, but it's never. I don't think it's ever be a mainstream sport. But there is a lot more opportunity in terms of sponsorship money available to athletes now, particularly in America.
Yeah.
And for the top athletes in Europe, the market is growing. You've only got to look at the size of these events and the amount of likes they get on Facebook. They're becoming quite well known around Europe, and that was one thing I wanted to do with my race is. Everyone knows about the Glencoe skyline in alpine areas and further afield because it's part of a World Series, the Skyrunning World Series. But I think the Lakeland 100 and the Highland Fling, all classic UK races that everyone in the scene knows about in the UK, still quite unheard of abroad. So this is a long-term, 3 to 5 years plus plan. But I would love to host an event in the UK that someone from South America or whatever, it's like, oh, UTS, I've seen the videos.
Yeah.
But that's going to take time.
Oh, it's gone. It's come back. It's okay now. You've gone quiet.
Okay.
I know you come back now. You come back. Yeah, okay. Jesus, that scared. Okay. It scared the shit out of me.
Sorry. Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna quote you now. Anyone can run 100 miles. Care to explain?
I think so. Did I say that?
You did, yeah.
Yeah. No, I believe that. Well, when I say run, I don't mean run non-stop. I mean, you could complete a 100-miler. There might be a lot of walking involved, but you can, I think anyone can get start to finish in a 100-miler, no matter how unhealthy, unfit, obese you are, because you have to want it, and as long as you want it and you're prepared to do the training and make a little sacrifice, then it's not. I don't think it's an impossible feat. I think too many people, particularly in the Western civilizations, put limits on themselves from an early age. They tell themselves they can't do things for fear of taking the risk and trying. It's never really been my style. I'd rather know for sure what I can and can't do. So I think if you tell yourself you can do something, 9 times out of 10 you can. So it's just an attitude thing. And I think anyone can run 100 miles. 200, whatever. 200.
That's the new thing, isn't it? 200 miles. The Americans seem to be getting into the 200s now, I think.
Yeah, there's the Tahoe Rim. There's a couple of big 200-miler things, but that's not my cup of tea yet.
Yeah.
I've race and things.
Yeah, I've been at an aid station on mile 90. I think it was mile 90 of a 100 or a 110, and the states some people are in is crazy. I mean, they don't even acknowledge you. You know, or you try and set, you know, you have a conversation or try and spark a conversation, maybe trying to keep them. Oh, they're sleeping on their feet, which is mad. And 200 again, like, yeah. Some of them 2 miles an hour, some of them, like crazy.
Yeah. I'm kind of lucky in a respect. I'm a bit faster, so I can get 100 miler done a bit quicker than in the back of the pack. It's a bit difficult. I think I go through my roughest patches in 100 miler about 17 miles when there's still quite a long way to go. By the time I get to 90 miles, I've sort of had my tantrums and worked through a lot of stuff, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, right, it might only be a couple of hours away now, so let's just get the job done and get a beer.
Yeah. Speaking of getting the job done, is it quite a unique thing, your special descent section back to Clanberis on your 150?
So in my race at UTS in the 50 and 100 miler, the very last section is the Clanberis path descent from the top of Snowdon, and I just thought it'd be a bit quirky and fun to open up a race to anyone in the field, and it's whoever can get down that the fastest will win a nice pair of poles provided by Lecky.
Brilliant.
So yeah, I thought it's a good 5 mile descent, and it's all pretty much down. It's a bit of a way to finish yourself off. So it's encouragement to get back to the finish as quick as you can. It's
going to tip that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who wins that.
That'll tip me over the edge. That. I might choose not to get involved.
See how it goes.
Yeah. And speaking of which, you've had a few people enter now. Any highlights? Anyone to look out for?
There's quite a few police entries. Nicky Spinks is racing in the UTS 50, as is Johnny Campbell. There's a few bigger names, sponsored athletes in the 100 as well. I think it's going to be a really competitive race actually in both distances. I think there won't be any live tracking this year, but there'll be live timing, and there'll be a couple of people there live streaming from various aid stations, interviewing things. So hopefully people on Facebook can see the race unfold as it's happening. So it's going to be good weekend to spend at your laptop, hopefully, if you're at home watching.
One of those people. I do that all the time, and these big races come up, UTMB, Barkley even, you don't get much from them. Oh well, I look forward to competing against that tough field on the weekend of the 11th to 13th of May. I'll be doing the 50 myself, and I'll bring the GoPro. I've not made a film for a while, a race film. I think the last one I did was the Wadsworth Trog back in December, so it'll be probably the first one this year. So that's quite nice. So, is there anything else we could talk about? You've been running some. You've got some running camps coming up for the UTS, haven't you? The 24th to the 25th of March, I think it is. There's one coming up in a couple of weeks. It's a 2-day trip over the UTS 50 course. There's going to be some workshops, climbing, descending skills. A nice night in a hotel in Bedgellert, all food included. Just a great way for people to get to know each other and enjoy a real adventure, really. You know, it's going to be a lot of running involved. And good memories for all, hopefully. Looking forward to that. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it myself.
First
time to Wales.
Wow, okay. Well, I'm sure
I've somehow missed out, on this. I've been to the Lake District so many times, but never to Wales. And I can't actually make it down before the day. So there we go. We'll see what happens to me on the day.
It's a spectacular part of the country, and in my opinion, quite underrated compared to areas like the Lake District and the Highlands. I don't know why, but there's a few ultras in Snowdonia in North Wales, but the scenery, in my opinion, is some of the best in the UK. So I love it there.
Yeah. And you're from Chester?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at the moment.
So it's on your doorstep, basically.
Just about an hour away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be going there this week to sort a few things out. And yeah, Chester's a great location to be because within a 2-hour travel radius, and got a lot of places I can get to. So very lucky to have been born and raised here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so how many people have actually entered?
I just checked this morning, and it's 150 have entered UTS 50, and 60 have entered the 100. So that's a total of 210 altogether.
Okay.
The entries will be capped at 300 between the two events. So there's 90 entries left. So if you're keen to get involved, get on the website, have a look at what it's all about. There's a little bit of required experience for anyone who's wants to enter, but yeah, 90 places left. It's over 2/3 full, so at this rate, it's going to fill up well ahead of the date. So yeah, get your entry in now if you want to get involved.
Nice one. And also, you need volunteers, right?
Yes, I've just about covered the absolute minimum we need, which is 50. But if anyone wants to get down and get themselves down for a free entry the next year and wants to be a volunteer this inaugural year weekend, then send me an email at mike@apexrunning.co and can get you on the volunteer list.
Yeah. And this is a call out for my friends or people who know me. If you want to get involved and help me and help Mike and come along for the weekend and have a good time, then get in touch as well. So, you know, I'm currently going to be on my own. do the runners run with crews on this?
No, it's all self-sufficient, but in this first year, I don't mind if people want to have a crew meet them at certain aid stations and stuff, as long as
But your aid stations are catered for anyway, aren't they?
Yeah. There's 15 altogether on the 100, so it's a well-supported race. Some of them may only have cold drinks and snacks just because they're quite remote. But several of the aid stations are based indoors in village halls, buildings and stuff like that, so you can grab a coffee and some cake and sit down. Yeah.
I've also, as a designer, I love the design of the website. I think it's really good.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
My best friend designed it, so I'll be pleased to hear that.
Really,
great job.
And there's a course profile on the race numbers, which is fantastic. Upside down, so you can read it whilst you're running.
Yeah, there's quite a few little details yet to be released, but that's been showcased on the Facebook group. A little sneak peek of what the race numbers are going to look like. So, yeah, I'm a designer myself and pay quite a lot of attention to detail. So, hoping that shows through on the race really, and people go away feeling like they've got more than their money's worth. So, that's fine.
Well, I mean, it's a bargain anyway, isn't it? So.
Yeah, it's not a bargain, but
it's not unreasonable. It's not unreasonable.
No.
It's not a bargain. Come to the UTS. It's not a bargain.
That could work next year. Yeah, I just paid €250 to enter UTMB, so my 100's
It sounds like a bargain. It sounds like a bargain to me. And you're doing a finisher's certificate.
Yeah, this is something that might not be popular with certain people, but I just don't get finishers medals, generic mass-produced thing hanging around your neck at the end. So instead of that, I've paid a friend who's an illustrator to come up with a real nice design. The finisher certificates are going to be printed on it's cotton paper. It's really thick, good quality stuff, and it's something you'll take home and you're going to want to put up on the wall or frame it and put it at your desk at work and remind you about UTS. It's a bit more
personal,
displayable than a medal that just might get thrown in your drawer or something. Yeah,
I mean, I'm guilty. I have a drawer full of medals with the ribbons cut off. I don't take care of them. They're all rusty.
So the certificate will be hand signed with your finishing time, and I'll sign it. And so it's something that comes from the Bob Graham round. Everyone who completes that gets a nice certificate presented at the dinner. I just thought, yeah, it was really, really nice.
Brilliant. Well, yeah, sounds like a really well thought out race. It's nice that, I mean, it's your full-time job, right? So.
Yeah, I do some coaching, but this is like taking up a lot of my time at the moment.
Yeah. I hope it pays off. I hope everything goes to plan. No one dies. We'll be all right.
Yeah, it's all about next year. I've sort of done my sums, and I'm probably going to lose a few grand this year. Need to get a business overdraft, but next year I'll recoup that quite quickly. I think once everyone sees the videos and stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like, you know, once people have done something, I mean, you can't even really take any photos until the second year.
No.
I noticed this when I first promoted a race back in 2016. I had nothing. All I had is some photos. I went out onto the course and took some photos. I'm not going to mark the course up for a photo, you know. So.
Yeah.
But the second year was easy. So much easier. So. Yeah, year 2 should be a blast. You'll have people who have been out there and done it before, and people will be queuing up to marshal it as well, you know.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, whatever entries I get this year, I think it will double next year. So, you know, if I get 250 and then 500, I'll make it 500.
Who knows? Who knows? Might even have a waiting list.
We'll see. I think. Yeah, next year it'll be 600 entries max, so yeah, we'll see.
The course can take it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's not about the course, it's more things to do with the national park and footpath erosion. Mountain rescue teams, I'll give a couple of £100 each to them. But yeah, long term I'd like to get more involved with charity work, in particular. Wheelchair access for disabled kids in the outdoors is what I'd like to get involved in, so yeah.
Cool.
My dream is to buy a couple of off-road wheelchairs to put on the train that goes up Snowdon, so that disabled kids or adults can have a little go on them at the top of Snowdon and see the views and stuff. That'd be really cool. Get the train down if they want. Yeah. Great
stuff. Okay, well, yeah, good luck with the rest of the organisation. And
brilliant, yeah.
Good luck on the day. And I'm looking forward to it. I hope the people that have signed up are looking forward to it as well. What's the website again? That's a plug, cheap part.
utsrace.co.uk.
And they can follow you as well from there?
Yeah, if you Google or search any social media stuff for apexrunning.co, you'll find my website or Instagram and things like that. Not too big on Twitter, I don't really get that, but
no, I've gone off it as well. I don't know why.
I'm a visual thinker, so I like pretty pictures instead of work itself.
Yeah. I'm not too good with words myself. Okay, well, let's wrap this up, and thanks very much for being the first guest on this show yet with a name yet to be decided. So,
no worries, thanks for having me.
I'll see you later.
Cheers. Bye. See ya.
So that was the first Great Owl running podcast. I don't know what I'm going to call it. The OWLCAST. That sounds fine to me. The OWLCAST. That's the new name. So thanks for joining us. If you want to check out Great Owl Running, it's www.greatowl.org. Look at the races that we do locally, and you can keep track of what we've got coming up if you follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. Thank you very much. See you soon.